and welcome back to our roll for build. And we're going to get started and jump right in and see what type of house we are going to be building. Ooh, okay, so we got number 2. So finally a regular home, not a small business, no apartments, no nothing like that, just a regular family-sized home, depending on who lives there. And then we'll see open or close. We got an even, so it's going to be an open concept. And then last but not least, oops, I guess not last. We got a couple more rolls. 2 is a couple. And then the style of the home, which is 20-sided. We got, what is that, 18? Yeah, 18. Which is a colonial. That's probably one of my least favorite ones to build, but that's okay. So I'll be right back once we got our open-sided family home for a couple built in colonial style. Okay, so I finally found the lot that I'm going to build the house on. So we'll take the lot from this to this. So my plan for this is to have this be like the front entrance area here. The front door will come up, and then I'm going to make like a balcony here. And then this will be like a window feature, maybe a door if I have a door that like looks enough like a window feature, and we can make this like an actual usable balcony. Rather than just a design choice. And then I did add on a chimney. I wanted it to be 2 squares. I tried one, and it didn't look bad, but it also didn't like read as a chimney. So then I was like, okay, I'll make it 2, but the only issue with that is now it's asymmetrical, but like, honestly, asymmetrical isn't always bad. I don't normally do it unless I'm decorating like with furniture and what have you, but honestly I think it'll look okay, because I think 3 would be too much. So we're gonna leave the chimney like that for now. We'll see if it stays or if it ends up going, but for now this is what we're working with as our shell. And then next up, let's see what we have for our exterior materials. We got number 3. Ooh, brick. Honestly, out of all the ones that we could have gotten brick for, I feel like this one was a great option. And then the overall color scheme, number 1. So we got earth tones, which honestly kind of works. We can work with earth tones. That opens it up to some beachy blues and yellows, tans, browns, obviously greens. So I'm not mad about it. And I will be back once I got the exterior materials done and also added in some windows and doors. Okay, so this is what we're currently working with. Oh, these moved. Hold on one second. I forgot I scooched the windows up, so I didn't move the shutters from the outside. So my inspiration pick that I was using, they had these bay windows here, and like the bay windows were cute, but then I found these and I was like, I can almost like fake a bay window a little bit. So I decided to go ahead with this as my pop because I liked having a little bit of roof down here to kind of tie these in together. And then this is where I ended up with the brick. Obviously the windows are not fully done, and I did some interior work that made some of this exterior stuff go away. But that's okay. I will continue to fix and move around as I needed. So I'm probably going to add in more windows and adjust some more. Initially I had these all evenly spaced like you would see on like the fronts of Colonials. But due to where the room placements ended up, it did not turn out that way. So when you first initially walk in, oh wait, hold on. Let me talk about this really quick before we move on to the inside. So basically I just took the rounded rooms and made them into platforms. And this technically is a rounded room, this interior part. But once I got rid of the walls, it was like, yeah, no, you're not rounded anymore. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not messing with it too much. I am going to put a bush here too as well to hide this being like this weird overhang, because I did like these columns for the style choice. Can these come up? Oh, they can. Oh, you know what? That was because I originally had this frieze down here as well, and I didn't like it. I liked having the slightly thinner version of it down, so that's why that's like that. But yeah, so I tied to the stairs because the curved stairs were not giving what I wanted them to give, and I kind of wanted a little bit more of a grander staircase in the front, so that way it would warrant having a little bit of a grander balcony up top. And I did find a door that kind of matched along with some windows, so now I was able to have that, like, the big window moment, the accent window. So that's where I ended up with all the brick. I got the chimney to work out as well. So now it's kind of like these 2 little pieces popping out, but I'm able to have like an actual built out bigger chimney. I like doing this from time to time if I want a chimney on the side. So yeah, for layout on the inside, since this was 1 higher than the actual foundation, I needed to step on the inside. So I did the same thing with like the curved, even though it looks just like a diagonal wall and stuff. It's a copied curve room, I promise. I don't know why the second that you get rid of the walls, it just makes it into the not the octagon, but like that shape, the part of the pentagon, octagon, whatever shape it would end up being. And then I saw a lot of people online complaining that the curved stairs, when you pull them out, don't do this exact thing where it like rounds it off. So I accidentally figured out, I don't know if I haven't seen anybody else do it, but if you look, every other stair that I tried is going to be blocky on the corners. So the Regal stair, which is what I used, was this one, is the only one that has this like continuation. And I like the continuation, but no matter what color swatch you pick, it's never the same color, which is a little annoying. But it's better than having it open. Otherwise I'd have to stick a plant right here on both sides. That would be my way of kind of like capping them off. So I'm going to leave them as the stair, even though that drives me kind of crazy. And I was originally going to do like these stairs where it's like white and then has the darker top for like a little bit of a change up in color. But I like how this looks better than how I would want that type of stair. So we're going to leave the stairs like that. I think when you walk in, I'm going to do formal dining here, or maybe this way or this way. I don't know yet. And then have the kitchen be right here because I think I can get some kitchen stuff to fit nicely in here more than I can for like a living room or, a dining room. I think it'd just be a really weird space. So I'm going to put the kitchen in this back corner, formal dining room. And then we're going to do the family room over here in this space. And then in here, just because I had this weird little spot, I'm going to put a half bath in here. So there's a toilet on the first floor. I am thinking I'm either going to change this to like 2 smaller windows and do the TV and stuff here, or I could do the TV here and like do a buffet table type thing here, but we'll see. I'm leaning towards this over here and having the seating be like this. Or we could do seating like over here and maybe TV out in the middle of the room. That wouldn't be a bad idea either. But that's where I'm at for the downstairs layout. And then upstairs, I did French doors into the master and then French doors into an office space. And then, of course, the master bathroom. And then this space is either going to be like a nursery or like a children's room if we roll for that, because I know that is a possibility. And it's very rare that I get the opportunity to plan ahead for like an extra space needing to be added. If we don't roll for anything, I could always just put like yoga equipment in here and stuff and make it like a secondary office / hobby room. And then this would be like the bathroom for the child if we end up with that. So that is that. And then this should be walk outable as well, because it should all be on the same level. And it is in fact a door, and these windows should not obstruct that. So that's where we're at for this. I don't know how much more the exterior is going to change outside of the windows, because like this works really nice here, and then these work for their individual rooms. But then downstairs, I might add like a decorative window here, maybe of some sort, like maybe one right here. And then, like I said, this could change. It just depends on how the furniture falls and what we end up wanting where. Like I would love to put a fireplace here to actually like make the chimney make sense. It's just how, like, depending on which chimney or fireplace I pick, it could mess up either floor. So we'll see about that. I'm going to try my hardest, but we could get a smaller fireplace up here. I almost had it so like this was the bathroom, small office, and bigger kids room, but then I was like, wait, no. For one, we don't even know if this is going to be a kids room. 2, I didn't want the chimney to be in the bathroom. And so I was like, let's make it this way so that way we can have a very nice looking office. So next up, we are going to end up rolling for a couple other things, which is going to be the special interior. Oh, and how many? That's right. I forgot I added that. So how many of these do we need to add? 3. So we need 3 special interiors. I'm glad I have an extra room. 18. So we need a workshop. And then for number 2, we got 4. So a gym. And then one more, which is 14. Oh, so an attic, which honestly, that won't be too bad. For style choice on the upstairs, I added in these dormers. So I do have some space. I could potentially connect them here and do like an H-shaped attic. It's just, where are we going to put the access for that? I don't know. Maybe we could do it in this extra room. The attic access is in the gym. That wouldn't be a bad idea. So we got those 3. And then what kind of special exteriors and how many are we going to be doing? Oh, we got 4. There's 4 special exteriors. First one is 15, which is a porch. Okay, we can do a porch. And second is 14, so we got a patio and a porch. I don't know how I'm gonna make that work, but we'll play with it. I guess I could do like a raised up porch in the back and then have a patio underneath it. I've done that before. 7 balconies. Okay, and then I have next to it how I have to roll the 4-sided again to find out how many balconies. We already have 1 technically, and we only need 2. So I just need to add 1 more balcony. Last one, number 4. I got a repeat for number 7, so we're gonna re-roll that one. 12. Ooh, a fire or conversation pit. So our inside is a little not set up for that. So we're going to do a fire pit. We're going to have a really nice backyard entertainment area. And then for our character edition, that way I can add it in while I'm furnishing everything. Number 8. They're like really into one of the holidays. We got Christmas. So it's gonna be Christmas. So they're gonna be like really into the holidays, and I'm gonna have a bunch of Christmas stuff in all of the like main rooms. So like bedrooms, I'm probably not gonna do Christmassy stuff in, but like down on this main floor, oh yeah, we're gonna have Christmas. So I will be back when we add all of that. All right, one final roll before we end with the grand reveal. So the very last touch that we need to choose, and not even choose, but roll for, is the mess it up portion of this. So I rolled a 20, which means that I have to go back to the character edition. So let's go ahead and roll for a brand new character edition. So we got some of the Christmas stuff, as you can see on the front, and we'll see what else gets added. We got number 10, which is a hobby corner. And honestly, I mean, she kind of already has one from the workshop, but I'm thinking that I could add an additional one out here. So let's go ahead and add, I think we'll do a painting thing just because that makes sense for the balcony. So I'll add some painting stuff out on the balcony. That way she can paint the landscape around her house. So I'll be right back once that's finished. Alrighty, time for the final reveal on our colonial style 2-person home. So these people have a lot, and I mean a lot of hobbies. I think there's now a total of 3 rooms that are just dedicated to their hobbies alone. As you can see, the Christmas stuff is out and in full force. There wasn't too much that was like outside decor looking, so most of it's on the main floor in the house. I did go around and add in some garden detail stuff. I feel like colonials a lot of times just have hedges and what have you, so some flowers here and there, a planter, and then of course we have our patio, our fire pit, and our deck / porch. So I decided to go ahead and include a cooking area outside, so that way it's like not super far from the kitchen in case they forgot something or to run back in and grab a spice or whatever. And then of course like just a little 2-person seater up top. That way if they feel like eating dinner outside or something, they can. And then if they have company over, there's enough seating around the fire pit for just them alone. Them alone plus their guests. Here is the balcony detail that I decided to do. I wasn't gonna do a whole nother built out one just because it would have ruined everything else. And when I did these, I did them with these in mind, knowing that I wanted to use them because I don't always use them. So I did 3 instead of just 1. And technically it was supposed to be 2 anyway, but I counted this one as 1, and like, you know, so we added it on the back, and I think it looks nice. It kind of pulls in the fencing from up here down to here and further down onto the ground. So I think it worked out. Yeah, and then for the hobby corner that we rolled for the mess it up, here's how that one turned out. Just some artist stuff kind of around with a functional easel and then a little table to hold all the paints and stuff. So let's go ahead and start with the attic, which you can't really see the attic with the walls up. So I didn't do anything on the walls. It's just a solid color all the way around. But because these people are obsessed with Christmas, I was like, oh, they'll hide their gifts up in the attic, and that's where they store all their decorations and stuff. So that's why they have crates upon crates of stuff and then just an old piece of furniture. And then second floor, this is where we have our master as well as the other hobby rooms that needed to happen. So of course, master bathroom. And then over here is the workshop area. So I did a flower arranging as well as the woodworking table, which there is some detail on the walls. So we'll go ahead and put the walls up. Nothing too crazy in here. I kept it nice and cohesive. Nothing too fancy. And then this is our attic access here with the ladder, as well as the gym, complete with yoga and weightlifting. And then of course the master area, which I wasn't really too sure what to do with this space other than to put a plant and a rug down, because it had these doors here, so you couldn't really, in this one, so you couldn't really put like furniture down unless it was smack dab in the middle, and I wasn't going to do that for the bedroom. So I was like, okay, just a rug walk-through area, a place to build furniture if you need. And then this is where the dresser ended up along with the bed. And then just a really quick landing hallway spot. And then onto the downstairs. So this is where their Christmasness really comes into shine. Of course, in your formal dining area, complete with your leaves poking through the wall, and your fireplace, we have our garland, our wreaths, a nice center feature, more garland, a nice little rug that gets replaced every so often. This is how the living room ended up turning out, and I was like, of course these people would keep their Christmas tree out all year long. just chilling in the living room as a permanent fixture. So I didn't go too crazy with it, with decorating and what have you, just because I knew that the Christmas stuff was going to come out. So we have like our little spots, our little areas. And then I kept the walkways clean. This is just how the half bathroom turned out. Nothing could really fit in here outside of a couple pieces of clutter and the functional furniture, and then cabinets for decoration and storage. And then the kitchen ended up over here with the green. Kind of trying to keep it like modern but cozy with all the clutter. Plus the green really goes well with the Christmas aspect of all of this. So yeah, I think I found these little place settings, which I should have changed the color of them. Oh, I guess they're not super different. Okay, maybe those ones are the best ones. I was just thinking, since I was trying to avoid black as much as possible, since we were supposed to keep it earthy tones. Obviously black exists, but I wanted to try and keep it as neutral and like green and blue as possible. So yeah, and I let the outside be red for the brick. So overall, that's how everything kind of turned out over here. Nothing too crazy happened, and honestly, I think this is a pretty good, livable, and playable save for this one. It wouldn't be too crazy to have to go back in and change much. The only thing I would change is I'd probably get rid of the Christmas decorations after a while. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. So if you liked the video and you want to see more, check out the playlist down below for more Roll for Builds and other Sims content, as well as some other random games that I like to play here and there. And of course, like and subscribe to the channel in this video if you want us to continue seeing more. And if you have any game recommendations, just leave them down in the comments below and I will see them and I will play them. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.